What if I told you that a coin worth just 25 cents could be hiding in a forgotten drawer, a dusty coin jar, or even in the loose change sitting in your car right now? La Coin's world. And that under the right circumstances, that seemingly ordinary quarter could be connected to values reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars? Most people spend their coins without a second thought. They toss them into vending machines, leave them on countertops, or exchange them for a cup of coffee. Collectors, however, see something entirely different. They see possibility. They see history. They see hidden wealth disguised as everyday currency. And today, we're diving into one of the most mysterious and talked about coins among serious treasure hunters, the 1981 Washington quarter bearing the Philadelphia Mint designation, a coin surrounded by rumors, rare error discoveries, and extraordinary valuation claims that continue to spark excitement throughout the numismatic world. Before you dismiss this as another ordinary quarter story, consider this: across America, countless valuable coins have been unknowingly spent by people who never realized what they were holding. Some of those coins later surfaced at auctions, stunning collectors with prices that seemed impossible. The question is simple: could you have one? The story begins in 1981. America was entering a new decade. Inflation concerns dominated headlines. Technology was beginning to reshape everyday life. Yet deep inside the production facilities responsible for creating the nation's coinage, millions of Washington quarters were being struck for circulation. At first glance, the 1981 quarter appears completely ordinary. The obverse features George Washington's iconic portrait. The reverse displays the familiar eagle perched proudly above the words United States of America and quarter dollar. Nothing unusual, nothing extraordinary, at least, that's what most people believe. But seasoned collectors know that rarity often hides behind familiarity. And that's exactly where this story becomes fascinating. Here's an attention reset for you. If you have a coin jar in your house, pause mentally for a second and think about it. How many quarters are sitting there right now? 20, 50, 100. Now imagine discovering that one of those quarters could be worth more than a luxury car. Sounds unbelievable, yet history has repeatedly shown that rare minting mistakes can transform common coins into coveted treasures. To understand why certain 1981 quarters generate so much excitement, we need to explore the world of mint errors. A mint error occurs when something goes wrong during the coin production process. These mistakes can happen during die preparation, striking, plankette production, or alignment. Most errors are minor. Some are interesting. A very small number become legendary. Among the most sought-after characteristics found on select 1981 Washington quarters are dramatic off-center strikes, double die varieties, die cracks, clipped plancase, broad strikes, and severe misalignments. Let's start with doubled dies. This error occurs when design elements appear doubled because of imperfections during die creation. Under magnification, collectors may notice doubling in lettering, dates, or portions of Washington's portrait. To the average person, the coin looks normal. To an experienced collector, that doubling can represent a significant premium. Then there are off-center strikes. Imagine a coin being struck while improperly positioned between the dies. The resulting quarter displays part of the design shifted away from its intended location. The more dramatic the shift, while still showing the date, the more desirable it often becomes. Now let's discuss clipped plancase. These occur when the metal blank used to create the coin is improperly cut before striking. The finished coin appears to have a curved section missing from its edge. Collectors love these because the error is immediately visible. No microscope required. But some of the most exciting examples involve multiple errors occurring simultaneously. Imagine a double die combined with an off-center strike, or a dramatic strike-through error appearing on an otherwise pristine specimen. Those combinations can create unique pieces that stand apart from every other coin produced during that year. And uniqueness is where value begins. Here's something many people don't realize. The vast majority of 1981 quarters are worth face value. That's right, 25 cents. However, the tiny percentage displaying extraordinary errors, superior preservation, or unusual minting characteristics occupy an entirely different universe. Condition matters enormously. A heavily circulated quarter that has spent decades changing hands tells one story. A near-perfect specimen preserved with sharp details, brilliant luster, and minimal wear tells another. Professional grading services evaluate coins according to strict standards. As grades rise toward the highest levels, populations often shrink dramatically. And when rarity meets demand, prices can accelerate rapidly. Now comes the mystery that has fueled years of discussion among collectors. Certain high-grade error examples seem to disappear from the market for long periods. They surface briefly. Collectors compete aggressively, then they vanish into private collections. Some enthusiasts refer to these elusive pieces as ghost coins because they appear so infrequently that many collectors never encounter one in person. Think about that for a moment. In a hobby involving billions of coins, some varieties become so scarce that even experienced numismatists spend years searching for them. That scarcity creates a powerful psychological effect. When supply is almost non-existent, every appearance becomes an event, and events attract money. Lots of money. Attention reset. Take a look at the nearest quarter you have available today. Seriously, how closely have you ever examined it? Most people spend more time researching a television purchase than inspecting the coins passing through their hands. Yet history shows that valuable discoveries often happen because one person decided to look a little closer. That's the difference between a spender and a collector. One sees 25 cents. The other sees potential. The market for rare coins has evolved dramatically over recent decades. High-net-worth collectors continue searching for elite specimens. Auction houses regularly showcase exceptional rarities. Online marketplaces have connected buyers and sellers across the globe. As a result, information spreads faster than ever. When a notable error coin appears, word travels quickly. Competition intensifies. Prices respond. And this brings us to the valuation claims that have captured so much attention. You may have heard figures reaching into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some reports and collector discussions have even referenced values approaching $781,000 for extraordinarily rare, unique, or exceptionally significant error coins under ideal circumstances. Now, it's important to understand something. Such numbers do not apply to ordinary 1981 quarters. They represent extreme scenarios involving extraordinary rarity, exceptional preservation, remarkable error characteristics, and highly motivated bidding environments. In other words, the perfect storm. But here's why those stories matter. They remind us that value is not determined by age alone. It is determined by rarity, condition, demand, and uniqueness. A coin doesn't need to be centuries old to become valuable. Sometimes a production mistake creates rarity instantly. And rarity is the fuel that drives the collector market. Imagine discovering a quarter that appears unusual. You notice doubling. Perhaps the strike seems off-center. Maybe an odd feature catches your eye. What should you do? First, resist the temptation to clean it. Cleaning can destroy collectible value. Second, handle it carefully. Third, compare it with verified examples and consider professional evaluation if the coin displays genuinely unusual characteristics. Many significant discoveries have been made by ordinary individuals who simply paid attention. Retirees, cashiers, bank tellers, coin roll hunters, people just like you. And that possibility is exactly why stories like this continue captivating audiences year after year. Because somewhere out there, another discovery is waiting. Perhaps it's sitting in a safe. Perhaps it's buried inside an inherited collection. Or perhaps it's hiding among the loose change people ignore every day. The fear of missing out is real, not because every quarter is valuable, but because all it takes is one overlooked detail, one rare error, one extraordinary specimen, one moment of recognition, and suddenly an ordinary object becomes something remarkable. As the rare coin market continues attracting attention from collectors and investors alike, interest in unusual Washington quarters remains strong. Experts constantly study varieties, population reports, and auction records, searching for the next major discovery. That means the window of opportunity never stays open forever. The more awareness spreads, the harder hidden treasures become to find. So tonight, before you empty your pockets or ignore that jar of change on the shelf, consider taking a closer look. Examine the dates, inspect the details, search for unusual characteristics, because the difference between a quarter and a collectible rarity may be smaller than you think. And if this story proves anything, it's that extraordinary value can sometimes hide in the most ordinary places. But here's the twist: the 1981 Washington quarter isn't the only modern coin creating waves among serious collectors. There is another ultra-rare coin, even more mysterious, with a history of astonishing discoveries and eye-popping valuations that continue to shock the numismatic community. And in our next video, we're uncovering every detail. You won't want to miss that one.